Today I'm going to be reviewing the New King James Version Foundation Study Bible, and this is from Thomas Nelson, and the edition that I have is large print, and I have one, it's in a blue imitation leather or leather soft cover. It comes in a sleeve, and I did already take it out, but I just wanted to show you the features on the sleeve before I dive into the Bible. So some of the features of this one are, it's the New King James Version. It's going to have book introductions that give a brief background information for more context. It's going to have concise study notes that provide helpful comments on passages of Scripture. You'll see theological notes which draw attention to important doctrinal themes and are indexed in the back of the Bible. We're also going to have cross-references. We're going to have a concordance. Extensive study aids such as the harmony of the Gospels, the prophecies of the Messiah fulfilled in Jesus Christ, the miracles of Jesus Christ, and prayers of the Bible. Full-color Bible maps are included. Words of Christ are in red. And one of the best features of this study Bible, in my opinion, is it has a clear and readable 11-point font in the very easy-to-read New King James Version comfort print, which is my favorite of the comfort prints that HarperCollins offers. So, let's take a look at this here. Like I said, I have a blue imitation leather cover. It's pretty nice. Has Holy Bible on the front in gold. And on the spine, we're going to see Foundation Study Bible, New King James Version. Little symbol here for Thomas Nelson. It does have two double-sided satin ribbons. We have a navy blue and a gold. And then we're going to have gold page gilding and perimeter stitching. Paste down liner. I'm going to start out with a presentation page here. Then we're going to have the table of contents. We're going to have an abbreviation of the books of the Bible, along with an introduction to the New King James Version Foundation Study Bible. And then we're going to get a preface to the New King James Version. And then we're going to get into the Old Testament. If my fingers choose to work today, there we go. So as you can see, there is a book introduction at the beginning of each book here. It's going to have author, the time, key verse, and then the theme for the book of the Bible. Scripture is here in the center in a double column layout. And then down here we have our study notes and references. So like I said, I really like how large the font is. A lot of times with study Bibles, and understandably so, there's a lot of information in study Bibles. The font has to be smaller. So if you're someone who really struggles to read that smaller font size, you may have a hard time finding a study Bible. This one would be great for that because the font size is very readable, and that New King James Version comfort print is just one of my favorites for just sheer readability. The Foundation Study Bible also comes, I believe, in the NIV translation as well. I'm not sure if there's a large print version in the NIV. That I would have to look up. But I know that it does come in the regular size font and then in this large print 11-point font for the New King James Version. Scripture and study notes are split up by this double line here, which is nice, kind of breaks up the page. It would be nice to see a little color added to it, like for the chapter numbers or the headings, but they're bolded, so they're easy to pick out. No big deal there. I'm going to skip around a little bit here, and I did just put some little markers in here so I can find my pages just a little easier today, a little less flipping. So this is Psalms here, and you can see how that's laid out. One thing I did notice, and this might just be mine, the pages are kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I think it's called cockling or something like that. They make a lot of noise when you turn them, but you can definitely hear a lot of like crinkle sounds if you can hear that when you move the pages around. They're kind of like standing up a little bit on their own. It doesn't appear to be damaged in any way. I thought at first maybe like water damage or something, but I don't notice anything. So I don't know. It could have happened in transit. It could just be mine too. It doesn't like hinder me from reading it. I don't know if I'd want to take it to church just because it's super noisy when you turn the pages. Not that that's a huge deal either, but it does definitely make some noise when you turn the pages, some little crinkling sounds there. Paper seems to be decent quality. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with that. So I'm not sure. I'm not like a super technical, like I don't know the technical terms for all that or what the causes may be, but I do notice that in mine. It was a little weird, but other than that, haven't seen any real issues with it. Not that that's really an issue either. It's just a little different. Like you can see pages are just kind of crinkly and just kind of lay weird sometimes. Again, I know I'm super technical with my terms, aren't I? Anyway, let's skip around here to where I'm going to go to the New Testament just so I can show you the red letter. Maybe. I put flags in here, but I don't know. My fingers just don't like to work when I'm recording a video. But anyway, this is the red letter. So Thomas Nelson usually does a great job with red letter, and this is no exception. It's not going to be burning your eyes. It's a nice color red. Bible appears to be line matched as well, which is helpful with red letter and the black letter. And then when we get to the end of the Bible, we have a couple different resources here. So we have theological notes index by location. So for example, like the creation, you're going to have Genesis 1:1, the first covenant, Genesis 2:15 to 17. So there's just giving you an index of the theological notes, what the topic is, and what the scripture reference is for that topic. After that, you're going to have your concordance. This is the general concordance that you would see in most of your other Bibles or study Bibles. And then we have a couple more resources here. We're going to have a harmony of the Gospels. We're going to have the miracles of Jesus Christ and the parables of Jesus Christ. And then this is the prophecies of the Messiah fulfilled in Jesus Christ. They're presented here in the order of their fulfillment. So you have the prophetic scripture from the Old Testament, the subject, and when it was fulfilled. The scripture reference for that from the New Testament. So that's always helpful. I always love Bibles and Bible resources that tie the Bible together as one big story. I'm just really passionate about that. I think sometimes we read our Bibles and we just take one verse out of context, or, we just read one book and we don't really focus on how it all ties together. And the Old Testament, some parts of it, let's not lie, it's difficult to read at times. It's difficult to understand. So it's just really helpful when you can connect some of those more difficult to understand books to the whole story of the Bible. And I just really think any resource that's going to do that is always worthwhile. And then we're going to get to the end of the Bible, and we're going to have our full color maps, which are the typical maps that you would see in Thomas Nelson's Bibles. And then we're at the end. So like I said, this is available in several different cover options. It's New King James Version, I think it's an NIV, at least at one point. I'm trying to remember. I know it was out in NIV originally. I'm pretty sure it is now as well. So I think it's those two translations. I'd have to look and see if there's any other translations. But what I like about this is I like that it is large print. I like that it's easy on the eyes, easy to read. I like that it has concise study notes. So if you're looking to have a study Bible, read a study Bible that has those notes that you need, but it's not like super overwhelming that there's so many notes on the page that you can't focus on the scripture, this would definitely be a good option. And I liked all those resources in the back of the Bible, the different charts with the prophecies fulfilled and the miracles of Jesus and the harmony of the gospel. That's always helpful to have those resources as well. Like I said, anything that's going to help you tie all of the Bible together into one big story is always a win for me. So again, this is the Foundation Study Bible. This is the New King James Version. Mine is the large print, and this Bible is from Thomas Nelson.